Lost Art of Fishing Stories, written by Andrew Cox. Get your copy today. Go to Amazon and search The Lost Art of Fishing Stories.
Hello, my friends, and welcome back to the Lost Art Project Veterans Voices. I'm your host, Andrew Cox, and today we're going to have one heck of a story. I'm excited about it. But if everybody out there is enjoying these podcasts, make sure you hit up our website. That's the Lost Art Project, veteransvoices.org. Go check us out, see what we're all about. If there's any way you can help us out, it'd be much appreciated. Big shout out to the Till Valhalla Project. They're out there doing amazing things. If you don't know anything about them, go check them out. Even if you do, go back and check them out again. Anything we can do to support them would be much appreciated. For anybody out there that's looking for a veteran service officer, the Marine Corps League has their own VSOs. So you can go to mcleague.org, search VSO locator. That will help you find somebody. You can also dial 703-207-9588, extension 299.
Are you a Marine veteran? Are you missing that bond you had on active duty? Then I have a place for you. Join the only congressionally chartered Marine Corps veteran service organization, the Marine Corps League. Get that brother and sisterhood back in your life. Become one of the fewer, the prouder, a Marine Corps League member.
Too cool. I was the master gunner and lead instructor.
Now, and how long were you there?
For the first time, 6 months.
Okay.
And then so we get there and we're training, and we have translators. Now they've been to our gun school at Fort Knox, but that don't mean that they got the whole course.
Right.
The first couple of guys they sent to our gun school, I think Master Gunner School, but from Saudi Arabia, and they flunked.
Oh, wow.
We have a high standard, and they flunked, send back. They got beheaded for being a disgrace. And so they said, no more flunking them. They get the course, whatever they get out of it is what they get.
Yeah.
If they paying for the course, no flunking them. So you don't know what they knew about the tank or not.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, no doubt. So, yeah, I'm teaching through these translators, and they're used to being taught by Russians.
Yeah.
Man, I would say Russian army is pretty fucking cruel, I think. But anyway, he kept hitting my damn students. I'm like, sir, you got to quit that. Quit hitting my students. I mean, they were scared, man. They're like, push a button, and then, I was like, God, man, I can't teach like this. And I said, sir, quit hitting my students. Oh, he make mistake. I said, no. I said, man, we learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
I said, in the U.S. Army, we learn from our mistakes. And he kept doing it. I said, I can't do it. So I get out, go to my boss. I said, this guy's beating the crap out of my students. They're afraid to push a button. I said, I can't teach like this, man. I said, I've told him to quit, and he won't do it. So they got their generals involved, and they said, okay, they come down. I said, okay, quit hitting them, damn. And so he finally got it under control. One time he pushed a student right off the top of my tank, man. The cobblestone freaking ground. Boom. I mean, that guy, they carried him off, man. And I was like, God, that's 11-foot drop.
Yeah.
Bam. And he was hurt. And then one time, they sent us back. The war kicked off. Well, we were there during Desert Shield, and then it turned to Desert Storm.
Right.
And so they sent us back to Fort Knox, and I was back there for it was a 100-hour war.
Yeah.
I was back there for about a week and a half, and I got on the motor pool working on tanks. And First Sergeant called me up, said, "Get your ass up here." He said, "You got an appointment with the regimental commander at 1300." I said, "Ooh." I said, "Hope I ain't done nothing wrong."
Yeah.
You know?
That's when you start going back.
Yeah,
what did I do last
and it was
night?
a big, I would say mean, and Jumping Joe Sutton, big old red-headed full bird.
Okay.
And he was like 6'4" or something like that. And anyway, he was. I've seen him rip some guys apart. Anyway, I report to him, and he says, "Sergeant Donaldson, do you have any idea what's in front of me?" It was a piece of paper. I said, "No, sir." He said, "I have a letter from the State Department requesting you by name and your NCOIC by name to get your ass back over in Egypt."
Wow.
Through the State Department.
Wow.
And he said, "I will make sure a copy of this goes into your NPRJ."
Yeah.
And I said, "Thank you, sir." He said, "Pack your shit, get your ass back over." He said, "Apparently you guys are doing a pretty good job over there."
Yeah.
I said, "Yes, sir."
That's awesome.
Hell yeah. Pack my shit.
You get a by name request. That's a good deal.
And me and the NCOIC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Through the State Department. They
Wow.
loved us. They loved me. Plus, Master Gunner, I know the tank. It was easy to teach. All we taught was the -10 duty stations, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was easy. And I taught them how to bore sight and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But and I cracked jokes with them.
Mm-hmm.
They had never experienced anything like that.
Oh, really?
You know, and a joke. I mean, they're allowed to laugh during class. You know, I mean, it was that bad. So I got them to all relax and I'd crack a joke and tell the translator, I said, "Man, they're supposed to laugh. That was a joke," you know. And he told me, "And you guys can laugh," you know. And then it got easier and easier. They got laid back, got more relaxed, and they're learning. They're pushing buttons without worrying about getting hit. Anyway, they love me as an instructor.
That's awesome. That's what you need to do as an instructor.
And they could tell that. Well, there was another guy with me, Pacheco, but they could tell me that they could tell I was the master gunner who knew the tank better. Anyway, so but the second time we go, we had 4 tanks. Okay. When we get back, they had 4 tanks. So we had 7 instructors this time.
Yeah.
And I was still senior instructor, but this other guy was E7, outranked me. And, but I said, "I'm still senior instructor. I've been there before. I know what's going on." He said, "Yeah, no problem." So me and him took turns teaching, and he'd teach for 18 days. That's what it took for one crew, 18 days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so he would teach for 18 days, and I would do the embassy run every day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we worked straight out of the embassy. And so I'd make the embassy run, suit and tie, and go get, the commissary. They had a Class 6 liquor store.
Oh, dang.
Oh, yeah. Biggest embassy in the Middle East is in Cairo.
No kidding.
And so I'd do the embassy run for 18 days.
Mm-hmm.
And not every day I'd go to the embassy, but to get mail, cash checks for guys, do whatever. Mm-hmm. And that was always fun, you know, going to the embassy. But anyway, I did that for 18 days, and we'd switch off. Then they asked us to teach them how to drive. We said no. At first, they had no commo in the tank. No radios, no nothing, because they were getting British Vickers radios. Yeah, and they wanted the Vickers from the Brits, so we had no commo. And they said, "Well, we want to take you to drive." I said, "No, not without friggin' intercom." I said, "This thing ain't moving.
It could be dangerous."
Yeah, I said, and he suggested. I knew it was coming. They suggested run the string down to the driver and pulling on him to go right and pulling on him to go left.
No way.
I said, "Absolutely not. No." And they said, "Come on, we do it." And I said, Nope. I said, "These tanks ain't moving to go on no freaking road march or to go on no training without commo." Yeah. And they said, I was adamant. No, Wow. And so they kind of got mad at me, and I said, but they all, the bigwigs all supported me. I said, "No, man. No, we don't go around tanks pulling strings on arms. No." I said, "No, we're not doing that." And so they finally got commo.
Yeah.
They put a rush on that, got some commo in there. And so we said, okay, well, it wasn't in our curriculum or anything to teach them how to drive yet.
Right.
So we're just teaching duty stations this first time. Anyway, so yeah, they went. We took them out and they rode course, and we taught them how to drive.
Yeah.
And that turned out to be, well, it wasn't so bad except for one guy. We had this one student. He just couldn't get it.
Right.
He just couldn't get it, man. And he was, the translators took, said, oh, worst student, bad student, worst student. They kept getting mad at this guy and beating on him. And turns out he couldn't see.
Oh.
Turns out he could not see, man.
Well, that's kind of important.
And then I look back, out of all them students we trained, not one of them wore glasses.
Wow.
Not one of them. Some of the officers, I started looking around. Some of the officers wore glasses. I saw not one of them privates, not one of them soldiers ever wearing a pair of glasses.
They just couldn't afford it.
Yeah, they're conscripts. They get conscripts right off the street,
Yeah.
And but no, none of them soldiers had glasses.
Interesting. And
I was like, yeah. And they said well, it turns out he couldn't see.
Yeah.
Right,
he's guessing on everything.
Yeah. And so anyway, I was gonna go back to something. Anyway, so we're going down this driver's course. And got translator, and I'm in loader's hatch and driver, worst student. And we're going up and going slow, and he says, Shamel, it's left, left, Shamel. And he won't turn left. Shamel, he starts freaking yelling at him. Well, this kid turns it to the right and guns him. And we go over this freaking embankment and bam, down in this freaking hole. Bam! And come up, I would come up out of the hole, and I said, I was way too high out of the hatch.
Oh, no.
Way too high, man. And so I caught myself, and I pushed myself back so hard, I had a bruise around my back like that.
Wow.
Where I pushed my back into the turret ring, the loader's hatch, man. And oh, my God. We stopped. There was about this much sand on the front slope of the tank where it dug in like a shovel and comes out. I swear there was that much sand on top of the front slope.
Oh, my God.
And it broke my number one track adjusting arm in half.
Oh, geez.
Broke it.
Yeah.
Snapped it right off. And so I'm like, God, man. And we finally stopped. And he told him, put that shut off there. Put it in neutral. And he put it in neutral, and I was coming out of that hatch, man. I was so man. And the translator said, "Oh no, wait, I get him." He gets out, and he drags this driver out of the freaking driver's hole and starts, beating on him, slaps him a few times, and kicks him and throws him over in the sand. So this guy's laying over in the sand, and he kicked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't care that time. Yeah, you can beat this dude. Anyway, so I told him, tell the general dynamics what I needed. Track adjusting arm. So me and the guy, we get out of tools, or I got my guy off the next tank. I said, come on, man, you coming to help me. So we break track. Get the old arm off, and we're waiting on them to bring us a new arm, and that kid's laying over there. And so we bust out lunch. I had a can of raviolis, and so I heat them up, we're eating lunch and get done. And I said, I had that can, I threw it at him. Boom. And the sauce splashed all up on his back from this fucking raviolis, And so I ran over and got my can, and threw it away. Anyway, here comes the generals.
Oh, no.
Here comes the Egyptian generals. And they come up to me and they said, Sergeant Donaldson, man, we're so sorry about that. I said, hey, sir, And then they look over at that private. And I look at him and they said, and he looks at me, he said, he wasn't bleeding before. He said, he's bleeding? And I was kind of like, whoa. I said, no, sir, that's my sauce from my lunch. I threw it at him. And he started laughing and cracking up, man. He went over there and kicked that student again, man. I was like, golly, they were so
relentless.
Oh, that was a trip. So he got over that incident. The second time there was 7 of us over there. And the Egyptians come to us and say, we must take 11-day break. We're like, what? I said, there goes our lesson plan, curriculum, everything out the window. And I said, what? He said, yes, we must take 11-day break for Ramadan.
Oh,
and I was like, man, I said, no way, we can't do this. And then we go to General, and it was a 2-star general, General Fitzpatrick, was the OMC commander. And so we sit down, he sit down with us, and he said, hey, their program, they can do whatever the hell they want. He said, what do you guys want to do for 11 days? And then he looked at us and he said, oh, shit. He said, I shouldn't ask that. And we said, we want to bring our wives over here.
Oh, nice.
And
okay.
He's like, God, I knew you guys were going to say that. So he made it happen.
No kidding.
Yes, he made it happen.
So flew them over, whatever, and they stayed for the 11 days?
Yeah, no, for a week.
A week? Well, that's still good.
Yes, we had our wives over there for a week.
Very
and
cool.
That was very cool. So we toured a little bit of Egypt. Yeah. Some guys went over to Luxor.
Okay.
And flew over there.
Uh-huh.
And they told me about that flight over there. And I was like, I'm glad I didn't go. I'm not lying. They said it was scary. They said, they taxi in, and they're fueling the damn plane, while it's running. And then they taxi out. There's people getting on the plane and people getting off the plane at the same time, and chickens and animals.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. They said, wow. I'm glad I didn't go.
That's straight out of Indiana Jones right there.
But that was a trip. So, and about once a month, we had a civilian in the hotel, long-term guest, and we all had rental cars. I mean, we all had a car with a driver.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had the best driver, I'll let. And he was single, spoke perfect English, and knew everywhere in the city.
Nice.
And he said, you call me anytime, sir. And he said, call me anytime. So I'd call him at night, say, hey, man, come on, pick us up. We want to go here or there. And he'd come pick, and I'd pay him, but we'd tip him really well. But I had the best driver.
That's awesome.
So the captain, we're going to see the general one day. And the captain, and I won't mention his name, but I didn't much care for this guy. he stayed in the hotel, and flirted with Lufthansa or British Airways. And he'd tell the generals I'm doing paperwork. And they'd come up to me and ask me, where's your captain? And I say he's doing paperwork, sir. He does paperwork a lot, They got onto it and they said, but anyway, I couldn't stand that guy. So we're using my car. He said, Scott, we're going to take your car. I said, okay. So he's up front. He takes off his jacket. We're all in suit and tie, Takes off his jacket and lays it on his lap. He gets in there, puts the seatbelt on, We get over there to the general's house, and I never put the seatbelt on, My lad said, nah, you don't need that. My driver. So anyway, we get over there to the general's house, and he gets out, and we looked at him and just started cracking up laughing. I did. I said, where he put that seatbelt on, that thing hadn't been out. That
geez, it had it
so long.
All across.
He had a white shirt and had that black stripe. I mean, dark black stripe all the way across his white shirt. Oh, I was dying laughing. And he was pissed. And he was, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So he looks like SCOIC and he's wearing a 3-piece.
Yeah.
So he said, give me your vest. And so he takes gives the captain his vest. Now he's wearing a plain suit with a pinstripe vest.
Oh,
and it
God.
still shows part of that black line. I've never laughed so hard in my life. This guy.
That's
Oh
awesome.
my God. Yeah. Those were fun. And my NCOIC was like a politician.
Okay.
Yeah, Sergeant Morrow. He could have been a politician. But anyway, we had Jody Harmon is the illustrator for Armor magazine.
Okay.
And I've got one of his prints back here in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And he loved Egypt. He wanted Egypt artifacts, anything we can bring back from Egypt.
Right.
And so we brought him back some stuff after the first trip, and he gave us these prints. I mean, a bunch of big, nice prints, named and serial numbered and stuff to take back over to Egypt.
Yeah.
And we had them framed over there. And, you know, they'd be wrapped in paper. We'd go to a function, you know, suit and tie function. We'd take one and present it to the general.
Yeah.
Or either American or, you know, the highest rank there.
Yeah.
We present one. They'd open it and they're like, wow, that was so cool. It was very cool.
Wow.
And so, yeah, they loved us. They loved us. And in NCOIC, he was a good politician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew how to work it.
Yeah. And he was really good. So we made it through Egypt, and that was one of the big highlights of my career. That and, you know, Cat 87.
Mm-hmm.
So I get back from Egypt, and I get back to my unit. They said, Donaldson, you're on levy for Korea. I had 3 months being in Korea. I'm like, damn, man, I just got back from Egypt.
Wow.
And so I said, okay. And so, yeah, I was east. I go to Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And from 92 to 93.
Okay.
And awesome. That was my first company as a tank master gunner.
Yeah.
And we took home all the bacon. I shot high tank out of the battalion, 985 out of 1,000. And
okay.
And then we took high platoon, high everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my commander, we brought home all the bacon from gunnery that year. And so I got that Indian head. And I've never seen anyone get an award like this. Normally they give out plaques, you know.
Oh, yeah.
My commander, first sergeant, got me that. And
That's awesome.
I couldn't believe it.
Show this to everybody out there so they can see it.
Yeah, this thing.
Yeah.
That's a coveted award right there.
That's pretty cool.
I've never seen anyone get an award like that. And
a profound thanks for all you've done. You made it all happen. From a grateful commander and first sergeant, Captain Dave Thompson, and First Sergeant Paul Babington.
Yep.
Babington. Very nice.
Yeah. That was super cool. And I didn't get that messed up from Korea. But I got some, you know, accolades.
Yeah.
That was my first time and my first company. And yes, it was so fun.
Wow.
I mean, looking back now, I worked my butt off, and I trained everybody.
So you were the master gunner for the company?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I ran gunnery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a known rule. As soon as you hit the gunnery range,
mm-hmm.
the master gunner gets the commander's Hummer key. Because I got to run around and do all my master gunner stuff.
Yeah.
So I get the commander's Hummer.
Okay.
And well, it was my turn. He had a brand new Hummer. Brand new.
Wow.
And I said, sir, it's my turn to go do target detail. All of us master gunners rotated, you know,
uh-huh.
and it was my turn. And they wanted that very top target serviced. Normally, the guys don't even go up there. But I took it up there. I brought it back with 4 flats, 4 of the run flats.
Yeah.
All 4 tires flat, mud, all over this thing. I pulled it up to him, and he's standing there beside the BMO, the battalion maintenance officer. And he's waiting for me to get back, and he looks at it, and he just shakes his head. And the BMO said, pull it over there to the shop. We'll put 4 new tires on it. I said, sorry, sir, but they wanted me to hit that one target up there. He was like, God, man, my brand new Hummer. They did. They put 4 new tires on it for me. But anyway, that was fun, man. I love Korea. I had so much fun over there. It's a different Army.
Yeah.
You know, you work hard, you play hard.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got to see a lot of the sights and stuff while you were in Korea as well.
Well, no, I stayed on post mainly, but I
Yeah.
did go downtown Seoul once with one of our soldiers,
Mhm.
a Katyusha.
Okay.
So you have a Katyusha on every tank,
Mhm.
a Korean augmentee, the U.S. Army. They're in the
Right.
Korean Army, and but they're augmented to the U.S. Army.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And so it's one of their policies. They have one loader or a member on every tank. I think they're supposed to have one on every tank. But
That's interesting.
yeah, and they're good soldiers. I
Mhm.
mean, you got to train them.
Yeah.
Some of them are, and they're small though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I had my loader when I shot 985. My loader I had a Katyusha gunner and loader.
No kidding.
Yes, and that was unheard of.
Wow.
You know, but I said I had a good Katyusha and he spoke good English.
Mm-hmm.
So I made him a gunner. And I said, I had a gunner, Katyusha and loader and shot high tank.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my loader is Kim, man. He was a little guy, but he could hump them rounds in. Yeah, I trained him up though. Hell yeah, we had a good time over there.
Wow.
I love gunnery. That was my baby right there.
Yeah.
And I always led the way. I said, I'm going first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was Beachmaster. And I love Beachmaster, running the firing line. I got a Prick 77 on my back, radio.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm up and down the firing line. It don't matter my company, anybody's company.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm walking up and down the firing line, looking at tank manager. Y'all good? Y'all good? You know, they might say, hey, man, come up here and check my machine gun or this, you know.
Yeah.
So I hop up there and, you know, give them whatever help they need and just keep the firing line moving, you know.
You just,
And,
wow, that's good.
And
That's
I'm talking
cool.
to the tower. I said, yeah, next tank I was ready. And he's so-and-so. And, you know, it was a cool job.
Wow.
I worked my butt off.
What, and they call that what?
Beachmaster.
Beachmaster. Okay.
Yeah. So I was Beachmaster, and I was always Charlie 902.
Charlie 92.
Charlie 902.
Okay.
He runs the tower.
Okay.
Yep. Charlie 902 is the tower operator. He's the one who gives you all your prompts.
Oh,
you know, and there's an admin frequency and a firing frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tell the lieutenant, you know, he's running the admin freak.
Mm-hmm.
I say, send me the next tank on the ray line. So he sends me the next tank, and then I tell him that occupy BP1, display a red flag only, depress your weapons, identify left and right range fans, depress your weapons, and test fire, report when complete. You know?
Yeah.
So then I pull them out for the first engagement. You know, I run them down range. I pump them down range. I'm Charlie 902.
Yeah.
That's on every tank range.
Interesting.
Yes, Charlie 902.
Okay.
And that was me for a long time. Anyway, so.
And now is that part of the job as the Beachmaster is to do that?
No,
or is it different?
As a master gunner.
Oh, okay. I got you. As a master
anyone
gunner.
could be Beachmaster.
Okay.
You know,
Got you.
But yeah, I'm walking up and down the tank line, just asking if anybody needs any help, you know, make sure they're all ready to go.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and talking to the tower saying, okay, I got 4 tanks ready, or, you know. But that was fun. But no, being the tower, Charlie 902, that's the ultimate job.
Oh, yeah.
And I had a great crew. You know, every time I taught or ran the range, I had a good crew of tank crew evaluators.
Oh, okay.
You know,
yeah.
I've got evaluators that are all trained up too, and they're good.
Mm-hmm.
And we run a big stopwatch board. It's got 10 stopwatches on it.
Oh, wow.
And so you start them all at once, and then there's times when you have to stop. Like if they see target obscured and they can't see the target.
Yeah.
So you stop their time until it's clear, and then you start it back. And you got to be good. I mean, and all these times targets only stay up for so long. And so you got to calculate their time, make sure they have enough time. But yeah, it's once you get it down, it's awesome. And we record every run.
Oh, wow.
Video and audio.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have a jump radio inside their tank.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll tell them, turn on the jump. And then we can hear the crew.
Oh, right.
We can hear everything they say.
Nice.
And we're listening to them, listening to their fire commands. Because they have a certain fire command they have to give.
Mm-hmm.
And their safety crew cuts. Like they say fire before the gun's ready.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big safety cut, you know. So anyway. Charlie 902. What was the question? What did you say?
Oh, I was asking if that was a specific billet or if the Beachmaster did that.
No,
But-
well, anyone could be Charlie 902 also, but
Yeah.
I chose to be it, man. And I chose to be Charlie 902, and I was fairly good at it. We'll get into some more Charlie 902 stuff.
Okay.
But I left Korea with a good standing. I mean, I got that thing, and I was like, wow. So I really had a blast over there. My first duty station, and I was good at it.
Right.
So I get back. I called them up, and they said, dude, you're fixing to go to Fort Carson, Colorado.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, wow. I called my wife and said, hey, sell the house, get ready to move to Fort Carson, Colorado. And she's like, really? I said, yeah. I said, they're sending me there. I can't get it changed. And I tried to get it changed to go back to Fort Knox. And they said, nope, you're going to Fort Carson. So she tells her boss, hey, I got to transfer to Fort Carson. So he said, bullshit. Yeah. He said, no, you're not going anywhere. And so he went to the post sergeant major and got my orders changed.
No kidding.
Yeah. She came home from work. She said, you have an appointment at 7:30 with the post sergeant major. I'm like, what? And I was like, I'm on leave. I ain't shaved, and I was like, and I was like, hell. I went in there in civilian clothes. I ain't shaved, He was cool. He said, yeah. He said, Sergeant Donaldson, I got your orders changed. He said, but you got to go to a TO&E unit, regular combat unit at 194. I said, sir, that's where I want to go.
Yeah.
I know more schoolhouse for me. I've done the schoolhouse part. Man, I want to go to 194. And he said, all right, that's where you're going. So boom, I was a Bravo Company Master Gunner. And we went out and did a bunch of testing for the schoolhouse. Like we went to NTC, National Training Center.
Right.
And did a bunch of tests, And so, I thought that was
NTC's out in California, right?
Yeah, Fort Irwin, California.
Yeah, Fort Irwin.
National Training Center. I think it's the Mojave Desert. And so, I spent a lot of time out there.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of time. And it was cool. They gave us an extra week to go play because they were integrating M1A2s with M1A1s.
Oh, interesting.
So one company had all M1A2s. Or no, the platoon sergeant they had all A2s. And then next platoon, only platoon sergeant, platoon leader. And then my platoon, only platoon leader had an A2. They were trying the best way to integrate A2s with A1s.
Yeah.
And so we played for a week, had races, we jumped our tanks. And
Nice.
Yeah, we played for a while. It was a lot of fun.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we had our war games, And,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a trip. Always, you got an OC following you around, and those were interesting. And you got to fight your tank.
Yeah,
and that was really interesting. But I think I did three, maybe 4 rotations.
Oh wow,
NTC.
No kidding.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time in that damn desert. It gets so hot in the summer you can't hardly touch your tank.
Oh yeah,
it's so cold, and it gets cold there too. But
yeah. That's what a lot of people don't understand about a desert is how cold it will get and then how hot it will get.
Yeah.
Like that, everybody understands the hot part, but the cold part.
Yeah, at night it get chilly out there.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun, NTC. And then we stayed. Well, I'll get to that. Okay. I get to the good stuff here. And so I'm back at Fort Knox.
Yeah.
I'm in 194th. And we've been there. I've been there for 2 years. We've done field testing and done all this stuff. And I'm on brigade staff duty, and they're shutting the unit down, shutting down 194.
Completely.
Yep.
Okay.
Casing the colors.
Right.
And so I'm like, well, shit. I had orders for the regional training brigade. Yes. Training and evaluating the National Guard.
Oh, okay.
Because they started that unit because in Desert Storm, they called up the Guard. They fumbled and stumbled and couldn't deploy, and they said, man, we've been getting drunk every weekend for drills. You know? We're not trained to go to combat. And so half the units couldn't deploy.
Wow.
And so they started the last job I had was training and evaluating the guard
Okay.
and getting them up to snuff. So when they get called on, they could actually deploy.
Yeah.
And so,
Interesting.
yeah.
So basically, you went to instruct the tanks, companies or whatever, the National Guard.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll get to that.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Nope. No, I'm jumping ahead.
I'm jumping on you.
So, yeah. So I'm back there in 92, 93. And I go to 194. And so I kicked ass in there too. That was a lot of fun. We got to go do a bunch of fun stuff. And then so they're disband. I'm on brigade staff duty. Sergeant Major comes by and I say, "Good night, Sergeant Major." And he stops and he backs up. He said, "Sergeant Donaldson," he said, "you got orders for the RTB, right? Regional Training Brigade." I said, "Yes, Sergeant Major. Yes, sir." And I was so excited to get that.
Yeah.
He said, "Well, you're getting new orders." He said, "I'm pulling those orders and you're going to the NCO Academy with me." And I said, he said, "You're going to go teach BNOC." I said, "Oh, no, Sergeant Major, come on, no." He said, "No, you're going with me." He was going to be the commandant.
Yeah.
And I was like, "God, man." But he snatched me up. He said, "You're going to be an instructor at the NCO Academy."
Wow.
So I was like, "God, man." I did. I reported to the NCO Academy.
Yeah.
Then they sent me to all these instructor schools, be an instructor, small group instruction,
Right.
all this other stuff. And I was nervous. I was like, "Man, I'm NCO Academy. I'm heavy, man. I got to try to run these, keep up these students and shit, And I made it work,
Yeah.
and I got relaxed, once I got used to it.
Yeah.
And then I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. And I checked out on effective writing. I got checked out on my class, get certified on effective writing.
Okay.
8-hour block of instruction. 8 hours,
Oh my
man.
God.
And they said nobody won that class. They said, and I picked it. I said, "I'll get checked out on this." And they're like, "What? Are you kidding me, man?" I said, "Nope." So I took it home, started reading, and I said, they say this is the worst, boringest class. And so I started making it fun.
Yeah.
And you're a facilitator sitting with the students. No more of that podium instruction.
Right. Yeah.
So you're sitting there as a facilitator, really just guiding the conversation to what is on the test.
Right.
So you guide the conversation. No more of this tap your foot at the podium, like, remember this. No, none of that stuff anymore. So it was very cool. And, you ask certain questions and get the conversation going. And I took effective writing. I said, we're going to find out who can write a good counseling statement and who can't. And I said, and nobody here is better than anyone else. And I said, everyone's different, penmanship, your grammar, all that stuff. Everyone's different. But I said, I'm going to give you homework. And I said, and by the time you leave this course, you're going to be able to write a good counseling statement. And I said, I've had some of the worst counseling statements. And I said, it sucks, when you're getting counseled by your superior and he looks more incompetent, than you are. I said, you've got to be competent in your counseling. You've got to show them that you are the boss, and your writing and everything, shows that. You can't just scribble a bunch of crap on there. And then they're trying to read it, they ain't going to show you much respect. Anyway, I made the class interesting. And I had them laughing. The Sergeant Major sitting over there, and he's like, "God damn, he's got them laughing during effective writing." So I was good to go, man. All checked out. And then I loved it. Yeah, I love teaching.
Yeah.
And,
how long did you do that?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, and I got promoted E7.
While you were there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I made E7 and got pinned on an MSM.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wound up retiring with 3 MSMs.
Holy cow.
That's not pretty good for peacetime.
Yeah.
Or not seeing combat.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I called up Branch, the Master Gunner Branch, and see, Master Gunners have their own guy to talk to.
Okay.
And so I called him up and I said, "Man, where am I going? I've been here at Fort Knox another 4 years." And he said, "Man, you're fixing to go to Fort Hood or Fort Riley." Oh, the two biggest buttholes in the Army, man. You know, a lot of people say Fort Hood ain't too bad, but I didn't want to go there, and I damn sure didn't want to go to Fort Riley.
Yeah.
And I said, no, man. I said, I want Fort Lewis. He laughed. He said, yeah. Like, no. He's like, no, man, you're not going to get Fort Lewis. No way. And I said, how about if I go to Korea first? He said, smoking, non-smoking, window or aisle.
Nice.
That's what he told me. And then he said, I'll give you Fort Lewis if you go to Korea. And I said, man, I want pre-cut orders. You know,
Yeah.
I want pre-cut orders before I go to Korea, assigning me to Fort Lewis after Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, all right, I'll make that happen. And so I went to Korea, you know.
Okay.
And I told him, he said, when do you want to go? I said, when's the big rotation? He said, August. I said, I want to go in July. And so I got there in July, and everybody's leaving, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to go through the barracks, and I'll take your fridge, full-size fridge. I'll take that table. I'll take that chair. Oh, you got I'll take another mattress for my bed.
Nice.
I just went through and had carpet in my room, had me almost full kitchen.
Oh, wow.
You know, I got all this stuff from all these guys before the big rotation. that
was pretty
fun.
good.
Yeah.
You knew the drill.
Yeah. And so I get over there, and I didn't have a platoon. They didn't have a platoon ready for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to wait a month or so for this guys to actually leave. I was talking to Sergeant Major. He said, Donaldson, you're going to come up here and you're going to be the battalion master gunner. I said, no, Sergeant Major, no. I said, I can't do that. He looks at me, he said, why not? I said, I haven't had a platoon yet. You know, I said, I haven't had a platoon to be platoon sergeant yet. I can't go be battalion master gunner without being a platoon sergeant first.
Yeah.
He said, who made that damn rule? I said, I did. I said, I did.
Nice.
He was laughing. I said, no. I said, Sergeant Major, I will not be a good battalion master gunner. I said, I'm better than a motor pool master gunner.
Yeah.
I'm a motor pool master gunner.
Yeah.
I get up on the tank and actually work on crap. Battalion master gunner sits at a desk and forecasts ammo and crap, you know, and evaluates, you know, your gunneries. Anyway, I said, no, Sergeant Major. So he said, all right, you can have a platoon. He said, I got another master gunner coming in. I'll make him battalion master gunner. I said, all right. So, yeah, I got a platoon, man. It was a Delta Company, first platoon.
Okay.
Yeah, too fun. That was the best job I've ever had. Platoon sergeant, tank platoon sergeant.
Now, what in your mind was kind of the difference, like when you went into going from what you were doing, master gunner stuff, now you're going into platoon sergeant stuff? What's the big difference there?
Responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now you're in charge of 4 tanks.
Yeah.
You know, 16 bodies.
Right.
Lieutenant. You got your lieutenant. So, yeah, you got 4 tanks that you're responsible of, you know, and a lot more responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, and taking care of you guys. You got to know every one of them's background. And we had tests like, you know, you carrying this pocketbook, and Sergeant Major would test you, you know, and see I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, you pull it out, and he asked you, how old is so-and-so, you know, you better be able to find it, you know.
Yeah. And
so you got to have a long list of where their hometown, all that stuff, you know. And then you got to look at pairing your crews up. You know, who's going to work with each other, you know. Who's going to work the best? These guys aren't getting along. You got to move stuff around, you know, and because everyone got to get along, you know. So
yeah,
stuff like that. And I'm the trainer. I hold classes, you know, and I run people, even chair drills, you know.
Right.
Sitting in a chair, doing chair drills, just practicing fire commands. Even.
Yeah.
Or in a motor pool, I'd have all kinds of training going on. I taught call for fire one time with a piece of chalk on the freaking concrete.
Nice.
I mean, I'll teach my platoon call for fire with a piece of chalk on the concrete. And the sergeant major and colonel walked up and they said, what are you doing? I said, I'm teaching call for fire. They're like, how? And I showed them what I was doing. They said, I'll be damned.
Nice.
And I just come from BNOC, teaching BNOC.
All right.
So I got there a month early, and I told the first sergeant, I said, hey, let me see, you know who's coming in? So he gets a roster, all these people coming in. And I said, oh, I want him. I want him. These are guys I just taught in BNOC.
All right.
I just taught them to become tank commanders.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, yeah, I want him. I want him. You know, so he fought to get me these guys. So I kind of had a stacked platoon because, both these my wingmen were students I just taught.
Nice.
Yeah. Then I get this lieutenant, and he was cool, Lieutenant Wallace. Me and him worked great.
Mm-hmm.
He goes home on mid-tour leave, and comes back and comes up hot for cocaine.
Holy moly.
Yeah. And he come to me, he said, Sergeant Donaldson, he said, I didn't do it, but I come up hot for cocaine, and they're relieving me. And I was like, whoa, sir, damn. And so I went to, he left, he's gone.
Wow.
And so I went to the first sergeant, and I said, I need 90 days. I need 90 days. And before I get a new lieutenant. And they had 2 lieutenants floating around brigade. We called them left nut and right nut. I'm not lying. Not lying. And me and another guy was due for a lieutenant.
Yeah.
We were waiting to see which one we got. But I said, Sergeant Major, I need 90 days. Don't give me a lieutenant for 90 days. And he said, okay, I'll try to make it work. So, because I would get rated as a platoon sergeant and platoon leader.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for 90 days, if you don't have a platoon leader, then you get rated as.
You can get that on your report and
Yes,
everything.
I want that on my records that I was platoon sergeant and platoon leader.
Yeah.
And anyway, so I said, 90 days, Sergeant Major, come on. I think he made it work. I can't remember if we went the full 90 or what. But finally, I got the phone call. Sergeant Donaldson, come up here and sign for your new lieutenant. So I go up there. Oh, and I got this little lieutenant. He was majored in physics. West Point grad. West Point, majored in physics.
Yeah.
And chose armor. I'm like, sir.
That's what he chose.
I said, sir. Yeah. I said, what made you pick armor? And he said, I thought it'd be, fun, Sergeant. I thought it looks like fun. I said, well, I hope you're having fun. Oh my God, he was a trip. He was not built for freaking armor. I don't think he was built for Army. But I get him. I said, all right, sir. I said, you're going to be a trip. I said, you're going to take a lot of training. And that's what you do as a platoon sergeant.
Yeah.
You train. You got to train these new lieutenants.
Right.
They have no experience. And they're told, listen to your NCOs. That's the only way you're going to make it. Listen to your NCOs. And so he was hard, man. He was hard. But we're in the motor pool one day, and he says, my brakes were froze up, locked up on my tank because my belly plate broke off, and mud got all up in my parking brake cable. And so it was stuck. So I'm gunning the hell out of my tank, and it's going, I'm overriding those stuck brakes. And he's like, oh my God. He said, Sergeant, your brakes are magnetized. I said, what? He said, yeah, they're stuck. All the metal on this tank, I bet they're magnetized. And, whoops. And he says, I said, sir, and he wants to argue with me. I said, man, I'm busy. I ain't got time for this. I said, sir, why don't you go to your room? I said, go to your room and write some awards. Start writing them awards. Go to your room. And he'll, okay, Sergeant, takes off and goes to his room. And it's the commander, here comes the commander and first sergeant. It's command maintenance day, They come up to me, Sergeant Donaldson, where's your lieutenant? I said, sir, I sent him to his room. What? And I said, I sent him to his room. And he went. And he's like, oh my God. I said, sir, have you been to his room? He said, no. Why? I said, you need to go check him out. Because I've been at his room, trashed. Trashed. He got a big 3-monitor computer all set up, and he's all behind it. You see his little head poke up. Yeah. And he's a geek. Yeah. A gamer, a geek. And I was like, God, and trashed. His room's trashed. So I said, Commander, no, you need to go check in your lieutenant out, sir. He goes over there and he comes back. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, here comes Lieutenant. He just got his attitude too. So he's like, Sergeant Donaldson, I really need to work with you better. And I said, well, don't quit arguing with me then. I said, listen to what I'm telling you and don't argue. And anyway, it got a little better, but we had alert.
Yeah.
And alert, everyone humps down, humps all your machine guns, and you're fully loaded, with combat ammo in Korea.
Yeah.
You're ready to go to war except for your machine gun ammo. So you draw your weapons out of the arms room and everyone hauls ass down there. Get your tank ready to go. And once you're wrecked on one, you put up a green flag. So I'm looking down the tank line, and everyone's got a green flag up, but my lieutenant. And so I'm looking at him. I'm like, man, green flag. And so he's got it. And there's a 3-prong, thing to put flags in. Because you got a red, yellow, and a green. And so he's looking at him, and he calls me on the company push. Says, Red 4, this is Red 1. Which hole do I put this flag in? I look down the tank line, and I look down, and all the platoon sergeants are looking at me and cracking up. And I said, Red 1 is Red 4. Turn around, and I'll show you which hole to put that flag in. Here, my commander's sitting in the Hummer, Hummer door comes flying open. He gets out, goes to my tank, says, come here. I get down, dismount, yes, sir. And he tries to chew my ass, but, he had a little smirk. He said, you can't be doing this, Lieutenant, all the time. God damn, it's your job to train, And I said, I couldn't pass that one up, sir. And so I said, all right, I'll lay off.
Couldn't pass that one up.
Oh, he was so freaking dingy. God. And then we're out in the field for gunnery. And I looked at the calendar. I was like, oh, shit. I said, I've got 10 days left in country. 10 days. I'm out in the middle of the tank range, and I was like, damn. I went to first sergeant. I said, hey, I got 10 days left in country. He said, what? And I said, yeah, I got 10 days. And he's like, you're out here tomorrow morning. And get your shit packed. He said, you're out here tomorrow morning. It takes like 10 days to clear,
Yeah.
Turn in all your shit. And I did it in a couple of days, actually. But, yeah, the next morning, Sergeant Major, he said, God, man, you should have told somebody, I'm out here busy running. And I got done with table 8 qualification. And I went to the lieutenant, and I said, I'm out. I'm gone. And then I was like, where's my NCOER, my evaluation report? Oh, I'm not done with it. I said, you better be done by tomorrow morning. I said, you've had it for freaking a week now or something. I said, you better be done by tomorrow morning. I need that thing. And so I walked in there. I said, you working on it? I am, Sergeant. I went and told the commander. I said, you need help him. So he went and got it, and he went and helped him write it and all that stuff. Or I told him, give it to me, and I'll write my own.
Yeah, there you go.
I should have done that. I should have just said, here, sir, sign right here.
Yeah.
But
I did it for you.
Yeah. So I get back to Fort Knox, got orders for Fort Lewis. Yeah, packed up everything and moved to Fort Lewis and reported in there, RTB Training Brigade.
Okay.
Yes, what I always wanted. And then you go there to retire,
Oh, I see.
It's kind of the lowest rank C6. We have no soldiers.
Oh, wow.
We're all OCs, observer controllers and trainers.
Yeah.
And so all senior NCOs. And they made me the battalion master gunner. So I got all these instructors, under me. And,
right.
And we trained the National Guard, evaluated the Guard on all their gunneries in California and Washington. So
wow.
Yes, I did all their gunneries down in California and then Washington National Guard. And then there's another job I took on, which was really cool, was going with the scouts down to Bend, Oregon.
Okay.
And doing a training down there with the scouts. That was really fun. But I was Charlie 9 or 2, running tanks down range.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the next, for 3 years.
Wow.
I did that. And during there, we had some incidents with the National Guard.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm running the range one time, and lieutenant upstairs, he's running the admin push, and he's OIC of the range, National Guard lieutenant. And he told me they had a target malfunction, so he didn't tell me he sent a crew down range, He just said we had a target malfunction. Now, normally they have alternate targets. And
right.
But I called him up and I said, send me the next tank on the fire line. And he shouldn't have.
Yeah.
He should have said, well, we have a crew down range. But he sent me the text tank on fire line. I told him, occupy BP1, identify range friends, put up red flag, press your weapons, and test fire. I said, concentrate your test fire to the panel in front of you because we didn't want to start fires all over the range.
Mm-hmm.
And so they burp, and then I heard, cease fire, cease fire, cease fire. And civilians were downrange.
Oh, geez.
Oh, man. So I was like, I flew upstairs, and I said, what? I said, why the fuck did you send that tank to me? And he said, you asked for it. I said, yeah, you didn't tell me you sent a freaking maintenance crew downrange. I was like, God, man. So anyway, I'm kicked out of the tower. Yeah, they said, Sergeant Donaldson, you're out of the tower. Get out of the tower. I'm booted out of the tower, and there's a picnic table down in front. I'm sitting on the picnic table, my crew's yelling at me, we need you in this tower. We want you in this tower.
Nice.
They're all messing with me. I'm like, God, I might get fired right here. I don't know. And so here comes the colonel and the general and all that. And, so I report to them. They said, what happened? I told them exactly what happened. And they said, all right. They went up and fired that lieutenant, relieved him, got another lieutenant. And they told me, get your ass back to work. I said, yes, sir.
Nice.
So we kept pumping them down range. And then a couple days later, I think it was, maybe the next day, I had this one lieutenant on his tank that just was out of control, speeding, thought he was on big boy's toy for the weekend, Yeah, he was cocky. My guys on the ground said they had told him a couple times to slow down and get his ass down in the hatch. I said one time he was riding on top of his hatch, I was told. And
wow.
Anyway, he's next on the firing line. I told him occupied BP1 lane Delta. The driver hauls ass down the baseline. And then I guess he's hauling ass, they said. But I kind of lose sight of him. I can't see the entrance to lane Delta, which is a problem with the tower. Anyway, he hits the turn pad. There's big concrete turn pads, and they had drug gravel up on the concrete turn pad. Well, his tank, he turned right to go down lane Delta, slid on that gravel, hit the ditch, and rolled his tank 360. Rolled it 360, crushed the lieutenant, crushed the commander.
Holy cow.
Killed him, crushed him. And then I think the gunner was hurt too. But cease fire, called medevac, all that stuff. So I'm in the tower, man. I'm talking to the medevac, calling him. We shut down the range, shut down all the ranges around so he can fly through. So we shut everything down. Here he comes. I directed him to the landing zone, and
wow,
killed the lieutenant. And I was like, that one. That one wasn't on me or nothing. That was on that lieutenant, and he had been warned.
Yeah,
he had been warned, and he was up too
crazy.
Far out of the hatch. I mean, they're meant to kill people, and they don't care who.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Fact.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They don't care who. They'll kill you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So
gotta pay attention. Gotta be respectful of the equipment.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, the same as just regular gun. Gun control. You got
it is. Yeah.
Got to be able to.
And you got a crew to worry about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one thing to be on your own doing stuff, but you had a crew to worry about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he put his crew through hell.
Wow.
So big responsibility. So then after that, we were running the National Guard at Fort Hunter Liggett, California.
Mm-hmm.
And the infantry guys, their RTV unit, had gone out and got a DUI in their military vehicle. We all had full-size Broncos.
Okay.
And I had the Bat. It was an F-350 crew cab, off-road, long bed, with a topper on it.
Yeah.
We called it the Bat, big-ass truck. I had the Bat because I had all my range gear and stuff, you know. So we're out there at Fort Hunter Liggett, and the infantry guy screwed up. So he looks at, he calls us all up, and he said, no drinking. We're going to be out there for 2 weeks, no drinking. Some of us looked at him and said, bullshit,
Yeah.
And I had over 20 years, and I said, that's bullshit. And he said, nope, the infantry right now, things are a little hot in these military vehicles. And I said, that's because they went out and did something stupid.
Yeah.
And now you're going to punish our whole fucking battalion?
Wow.
I was like, I was pissed. We all were. We get out to Fort Hunter Liggett. He said, no drinking. And we're in the barracks right beside the unit. They're down there barbecuing at night, drinking, yelling, having partying. And we're sitting there in our barracks, man, staring at that lieutenant colonel, But we all had to go eat.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, we got to go eat somewhere. And so I always made sure I had some guy that didn't drink. I said, here, you drive. We all pile in and said, we got to go eat. So we went and found this little hole in the wall, little bar,
Yeah.
And we'd have a couple. And then we get back. Finally, okay, one day he says, okay, we're going to go out and we're going to have 2 beers. What is this, man? So he had gone downtown and found this little Mexican guy that had turned his house into a makeshift restaurant. And he had a few tables sitting out in the yard. They were all, his yard was just dirt and wobbly tables. And
Yeah.
anyway, so he gets a bus. The colonel gets us a bus. So we get on this bus and we go to this little restaurant. He said, all right, 2 beers. I'm like, everyone else orders like a Corona or, he had those. I said, I want a Bud Light. He said, oh, Bud Light, man. Oh, I don't have Bud Light. Or he said, okay, Bud Light. Okay, just a minute. And I'm like, okay. So I'm waiting for my damn beer. Then I see him get in his car, haul ass across the street to a Chevron gas station and gets a 12 pack of Bud Light, hauls ass back to the restaurant, and then brings me my beer out for what, $3.54 or some shit, And I looked at the colonel and I said, or no, before he went over there, I looked at the colonel and I said, I'm going to go get me a beer right there. I started walking across the street, and he said, no, you're not, Sergeant Donaldson. He said, you better get back here and sit down. And then about that time, that guy ran over there and got me a beer. And I said, fuck, I was looking at that colonel, man. I was like, anyway, we was out in the field, out and doing the gunnery deal. And he pissed me off. And I said, you'll have my paperwork on your desk as soon as we get back. And he's the one who made me retire.
No kidding.
Yes.
Wow.
He pissed me off, man. And they're treating us like kids.
Yeah.
I said, I ain't going to be treated like a freaking kid. And I've been in the Army 22 freaking years by this freaking lieutenant colonel,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he pissed me off. He sucked.
Wow.
Yeah. I won't mention his name. But anyway.
Wow.
So I retired.
Yeah.
June of 2001. And right before 9/11.
Yeah, that was literally right before it. Yeah.
And I had 90 days leave saved up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went to VA and I said, hey, I wonder if I could do this vocational rehab while I'm still on active duty. And they said, wow. They said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go to truck driving school. And they said, no, we don't take you. They sent me out to a couple of classes, and, putting little washers on little pegs, how fast you can put these washers on these little pegs, checking out your dexterity and all that. I said, nah, I'm done with this, man. I said, I don't want this. I want to go to truck driving school.
Yeah.
They said, okay. So they got me in truck driving school. I'm still on active duty.
Wow.
So I went through truck driving school and graduated top of the class,
Yeah.
you know, and I did it while I was still on active duty because they would have had to pay me gas mileage and all that stuff, or per diem or something.
Yeah.
If I'd have been, you know, retired already. And so I did it all while I was still on active duty. And so I graduated top of the class, and then they sent me an award. I got home, there's a $1,500 check in the mailbox from the vocational rehab program because I was such a success in their program and saved them money by doing it on my leave.
Really?
Yeah. Since I saved them money by doing it all while I was still active, I guess. But yeah, they sent me a reward check, $1,500.
Well, they ain't nothing bad about that.
No, very cool.
Yeah.
So
Wow. Yeah, that's a good deal.
And I had a job with Ferguson Waterworks.
Okay.
Big construction company, big pipe supply company. And so I went in there and drove a truck for them for a year. And then I heard about an estimator job inside. So I asked for it, and they reluctantly gave it to me because I was their best truck driver they had ever had.
Yeah.
And they said, now we got to find a truck driver, though. And you're going to find somebody as good as you. I said, that's impossible.
Nice.
but yeah, I started road testing these guys, and they'd get a couple miles down the road, and I said, nope, get out. You know, I'd take over. And I said, nope. And they're pissed, man. They said, man, you didn't even give me a chance. I said, you can't drive within 2 miles. I can tell, you know,
Yeah.
grinding the hell out of my gears.
Oh, geez.
You know, I said, no, you ain't going to make it. Finally, I found a good truck driver. I think he was good, but I left there. They overwhelmed me.
Yeah.
Yes, I got good at this estimator job. Specializing in HDPE, high density polyethylene, the fusion machines,
Right.
and all that. I got good, and then they just kept piling the jobs on.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd get there like 5:30 in the morning and open the branch because then it was quiet, and I had time to do, you know, some work. Because during the day, the phone's ringing off the hook, and they expected us to help answer the phone.
Oh, geez.
I'm like, I can't do that and do all these bids, you know. So I had a heart attack.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I had a heart attack, and so, you know, they put 2 stents in my chest, and
Jeez.
so I got back to work, and I didn't last much longer. I was like, guys, I'm done.
Yeah.
I just said, that's too much, man. I said, I don't have to work this hard, you know. And I said, you ain't gonna kill me. I've already had a heart attack. You ain't gonna kill me here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
that's
then,
for sure.
Then I left there and took a year off. And just lived with my girlfriend, and then I went for the post office.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I said I'm gonna be a rural carrier.
Yeah.
So I signed, went to the test, and I, you know, veterans preference and all that. I got a job. I lasted 3 weeks at that. Man, yeah, it was winter time.
Oh,
Packages,
yeah.
And they threw me out there to the wolves. I ain't lying.
He said, dude,
Yeah.
good luck.
I came, it was after about a week or so. I brought that thing back. I had ripped the freaking right side mirror off of it.
Oh,
Little
God.
mail truck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got in the ditch and ripped the freaking mirror off. And they came and pulled me out once. I was stuck.
Yeah.
And then I got stuck again. I called my buddy. He came out and pulled me out that time. But I brought it back about 8 o'clock. Still half the mail and all them packages. And he's like, oh, man, look, Mom, man, why didn't you come back earlier? I said, hey, rain, sleet, or snow. And I said, here, you can have this stuff. And he said, okay. You gonna be here in the morning, right? I said, what? No. I said, you can have this job. I said, no, I ain't gonna be here in the morning. I quit, but I had a CDL. So I went to MVS in the post office.
Oh, okay.
And I became a truck driver.
Yeah.
So I did that for 6 years.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then they pissed me off. I kind of screwed up and had a little accident, but they said, we're going to suspend you for 2 weeks. I said, bullshit, I want a month off. They said, oh, you want to be cocky? Okay, you're gone. I said, fine. I now know why people go in there and shoot everybody. I am not lying. That's the worst job I ever had.
Oh,
I loved it, my job itself, but talking to management and hearing their lies, they lie right to your face.
Wow.
I mean, just blatantly lie to you. Tell you anything you need to get you to go away.
Yeah.
Just blatant lies, man.
Jeez.
I've never been treated so bad by management in my life. And I told them guys. And then I'm sitting at the bar, Kent, Washington. It was over a year. They called me up. The union guy called me up. Said, Scott, they want you to come back to work.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I said, you got to be kidding me. And I said, what? They wanted me to come back to work. And I said, you know what? I thought about it. And my buddies are all sitting at the bar, and I put them on speakerphone. And I said, you know what? You tell them guys, I wouldn't come back to work for them people if they paid me triple time. And I tell them that's the worst freaking job I ever had. I've never been lied to so much. You tell them to kiss my ass. Yeah. So hung up. A few minutes later, the big boss called me from the post office. He's like, Scott, are you sure you don't want to come back to work? We're looking at a good substantial amount of back pay. I'm like, wow. I was like, I said, I'm going to tell you the same thing I told that guy, man. You were the worst manager I've ever had in my life. I said, I've never been lied to more by anybody ever in my life than you. And I said, all you did was lie to me. I was next to be hired full-time regular. I was part-time.
Yeah.
Hired next to be full-time regular for 6 years. And they never once hired one driver as a full-time regular in 6 years.
Wow.
And I said, and you all kept telling me, oh, yeah, you're next. Oh, man, we're working on it. Yeah, we're working on it. You're next. You're going to be coming up real quick. For 6 years, I heard that crap. God, I told them, pound sand too.
Wow.
I said, nope, never come back to work for you. I said, I know why they go shoot that place up now. I know why people go postal. God, that was bad.
Wow.
But then I went sitting at the bar. One of my buddies said, you got a little security company.
Yeah.
And he said, Scott, you need a job? I said, what you got? And he said, well, I got a little job, hospital security.
Okay.
Little hospital, Snoqualmie Hospital, at the base of the Snoqualmie Pass, and they get all the ski accidents and stuff like that. Little bitty hospital. It was mainly a rehab hospital for Seattle, but high-end patients come out there.
Yeah.
And sitting in the mountains, beautiful little hospital. And I had a beard down here.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. And so I fit in there perfect, put on my security uniform. It was just a cool place. Bears all around it. I swear I saw bears damn near every day. Big black bears.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. And just about every day I'd see a bear, man.
Holy cow.
But it was a cool
That's wild.
It was a cool job.
Yeah,
real small. Got to do whatever, I'd walk around once an hour, and just a really cool job. I did that for 3 years, and then decided I'd getting out of Seattle. Yeah, so 2015, I decided to move down here.
Yeah,
I'm from Mountainburg, Arkansas. So and my brother lived here at the lake, and I moved down here and rented a cabin right down the road here. Yeah, for a year, and I'd walk by this house every day, going for a walk. And there's a pond down here. I don't have it running right now, but I was wondering what that water feature was that I could hear, And then I met my wife. Okay. At the bar. Because I heard all the girlfriends going there at least once a week, And so I met them in there. She's like, where do you live? I said, Snake Creek. Where? I said, Woodhaven Drive. Oh, where? Told her where I live, that cabin. And she lived right here.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, yeah. And so we met, and her husband had died. Yeah. And so, I was like, wow, I didn't have a girl, One thing led to another. she's begged me to move in here. I said, no, this is you and Steve's house. So I moved in.
Yeah.
And then we put it up for sale for 2 years. Couldn't sell it.
Wow.
And so I took it down, and she just died in January.
Yeah.
January 4th. She was sick for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I took care of her. Yeah, for 2 years. And, she wasn't real bad till the last couple of months. But, and then that was bad.
Yeah.
She had COPD so bad. Yeah, and osteoporosis. Had her carotid arteries were blocked.
Oh, wow.
But they couldn't operate on it because she couldn't get off a ventilator. She had an option: either try to get it fixed, and risk not coming off the ventilator. That was her biggest worry, was not being able to come off the ventilator. So she didn't have it done. And the last 2 months just got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, sad. So she died right here.
Yeah.
She had a bed here. Me and her daughter were here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Good for you for taking care of her like that.
Yeah, that was, most guys, they've been telling me, man, we know that was hard. So
yeah.
Not many guys could do that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was rough.
A lot of people, they'd run out on it. And they're like, nope, I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, or take her to a hospice place or something.
Yeah.
She wanted to die right here. So,
wow.
Yeah, we kept her comfortable best I could. I mean,
absolutely.
Once she went on morphine, we knew it was over. And she didn't want to go on morphine. She said, no. And then they said, you don't have to because you're maxed out on Oxycontin and, oxycodone. And so she had to go on morphine.
Wow.
That was the hardest part. And they gave me the morphine.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they left. And so I said, well, looks like she's in pain because she keeps yelling out, and if I go try to, she's all turned. If I go try to move her, she just yells. And she said, give her some more morphine.
Wow.
I did her in, man. So she couldn't take no more. Anyway, it was sad. Really sad. And her two brothers, she's right there in that urn. And when her brothers died, they were 18 and 20 years older than her. Yeah, her dad was 57 when he had her.
Wow.
And she had an 18-year-old brother and 20-year-old brother. Yeah.
Holy cow.
And so they both died. And so we got a plant, that one on the left when her brother died. And then I split it and made that one on the right when her other brother died. So now I got to split it and make one for her. She can be in the middle. And she said that's what she wanted, because she'd be called Sis. So I'm going to split it, put her plant in the middle.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
She left everything to me. I hooked her daughter up with some money.
Yeah.
It's me. Got a 5-bedroom, 2.5 bathroom house. And I'm going to get this Airbnb crank back up.
Yeah.
Because I shut it down when she was too busy. I was too busy. So I'm going to get it cranked back up.
Yeah. Might as well, huh?
Yeah.
Well, shoot, it's been good hearing your story, man.
Yeah.
It's been a blast.
All right.
Thanks for doing it. Thanks for sharing.
Glad.
I got to be honest.
What to expect. I hope it's good.
It was fantastic. Now I have these questions that I always ask. So it's just, I call them my rapid fire questions.
Okay,
So first one, what is your proudest military moment?
Proudest military moment. Yeah, personally, I think shooting that 985 score.
Yeah.
Or, I don't know, man. I guess being selected to go teach in Egypt. Yeah.
Okay.
That'd have to be it. Or I'm cat too.
Too many to choose.
I know it's hard to pick.
It's understandable.
I'll say cat. Cat
Okay.
87. Yeah. I'm the only American team to ever do it.
Yeah.
I remember the
pretty
only
cool.
American team to ever do it.
Yeah. All right. What is your most embarrassing military moment?
I got a DUI in Germany.
Yeah.
My first week in country.
Oh, wow.
Yep. And that was a big mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I worked my way back from that. I was the biggest piece of crap in the battalion, you know, and I worked my way back from it. Got selected to shoot cat, and so
wow.
yeah, I did work my way back from that.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. If you could be one military leader for a day, who would that be?
Ooh. Pete Hegseth.
Ooh, okay. I like it. I like it. All right. What is one lesson or skill that you learned that you still use today?
Attention to detail, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. No. Leadership.
Okay.
I say leadership.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good answer.
What was the question again?
What was one lesson or skill that you learned that you still use today?
Leadership.
Okay. Good answer. Good answer. All right. This one's tough. In the zombie apocalypse, what will be your weapon of choice and what anthem will be playing?
Be the national anthem, and I'll be on a tank.
Okay. I figured you would say tank.
Yeah. With lots of machine gun ammo.
Yeah. All right, here we go. What animal best describes your time in service? I'd say a mule. A mule?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're smart. They know when to be smart, and it's hard, and it's time to work, and then they know how to relax.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Time to go to work, and then it's time to relax.
Yeah.
I guess a mule.
Okay.
And when I go to work, we went to work hard.
That's right. Yeah. All right. Knowing what you know now, would you do it all over again?
Yes. In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
And I never saw combat.
Mm-hmm.
I was within combat range in Egypt.
Yeah.
Within Scud missile range.
Right.
And so we got the medal. But no, I never saw combat.
Right.
All
right. And then this is the last thing. This is what I call words of wisdom. So this is whatever it is that you want to let people know, and just kind of your take on things or anything maybe we left out that you want to say. Okay.
Well, I'll say right now, the Army has changed a lot since I was in. I mean, and I see it on TV. Now they've moved everything to Fort Stewart, Georgia. I can't believe they did that. The home of armor in Fort Knox was developed in, the 1920s or something. And that was Patton's training ground, you know, and I can't believe they moved it to Fort Stewart. Anyway, I would say the Army, the services used to not be, a very good job. But right now is the time to get in it.
Yeah.
And everything has changed. The woke is gone. The trans people are gone. Because you cannot have, even right now, they have females on tanks. And I would have a hard time, I think, taking orders from a female platoon leader. I don't know why. I just can't imagine it. I can't see it. Nothing against females, but tanking's a hard job, man, a hard life.
Yeah.
And
a lot of heavy lifting,
everything is heavy, everything's hard, everything. So I just can't see it. And I don't know if they got all female crews or if they're intermixed with males.
I think they would have to be intermixed. There couldn't be all female crews.
Well,
I can't imagine that.
I just can't imagine that. I can't imagine having a female on the tank out in the field, and I just can't see it. That's the new Army, and I just can't see it. But they are changing the Army now. We're a more lethal force, and they're getting rid of the woke stuff, and trans, and ain't no room for that in the Army.
Yeah.
And then after the Army, you got a great opportunity.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do 20 years. You go in, you can do 4, right, and get some education money. I mean, it's a good deal, and I think it should be mandatory.
Yeah.
2 years of service when you turn 18, unless you have some other circumstances.
Right.
I think it should be mandatory.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of countries that do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it gets these guys off the streets.
Yeah.
We got too many teenagers tearing up our streets and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, boom.
Yeah.
Military.
You'll grow up a little bit.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. Because it's either you do your job or, you know, you get kicked out or somebody might just beat you up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true.
There's that time. If you're getting everyone else in trouble, then, you know,
Yeah.
you may get in some trouble.
That's true. That's very true.
But,
Man.
it's a good life.
Yeah. Very nice. Well, thanks again for coming on and doing this,
AJ.
man. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Me too.
You're a good storyteller, so it makes it fun.
All right, cool.
But I'll do my outro real quick. For everybody out there, if you're struggling, need help, anything like that, don't forget the VA does have some good resources. You can always dial 988, press option 1. You can always text 838-255 or go to veteranscrisisline.net, click on the chat icon. Any of those options will put you in contact with somebody that can help you out. But remember, one veteran life lost is one too many. I care about you. I know Scott here cares about you. The whole veteran community cares about you.
Call them, talk to them.
That's right. So please reach out. And if you're out there, you're not struggling, reach out to the buddies you serve with, ask them how they're doing. If they need that helping hand, please give it to them.
Yes, sir.
All right. One last time. Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
Appreciate you.
Everybody out there, stay motivated.
Hope y'all enjoyed it.
That's right. Change your socks.
No more 22. Honor the journey and finish the fight.